Hey guys, how are you today? I hope you had a great day and you got some stuff done and you get to spend some time with your family. And if you haven't had time to spend with your family, I'm hoping that your dinner time and after dinner time is time when you get to do that. So I'm going to do a really quick recipe here for you. This is going to be a side dish. The main course is going to be 98% ground lean turkey. I love this because it's so versatile and because it's so low in fat. You have the option of adding some extra fats in other places. Like, so for example, the fat in this particular side dish, which I'm making today, calls for olive oil. So it's calling for 1/3 of a cup. I'm actually only using 1/8 of a cup because I think 1/3 of a cup is too much. It's not necessary. And I want to use some of the fat when I'm cooking the turkey because the turkey has no fat in it, so I want to put a little bit in the pan just to give it a little extra flavor. And I'm going to season the turkey with some Italian spices, some garlic powder, onion powder, oregano, basil, a little salt and pepper to give it a really nice flavor to it. And then I'm going to eat it mixed in with this particular side dish. I like to mix them together, so I think you're going to really love it. So basically what I'm making is a Moroccan eggplant side dish. And so we're going to start with some eggplant. And in this pan, I don't know if you can see it or not, is the oil. And the oil's already getting heated. And I just cut up the eggplant. I was going to skin the eggplant. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. That's totally up to you. It's up to you. I was going to do it just because of the virus and stuff that's going around now, but I read that heat kills it. Heat absolutely kills it. So we're supposed to be drinking hot liquids. We're supposed to be taking hot showers. It will stick to your clothes and your hair and metal, so just know that. But by washing with something hot, it will kill it. And their assumption is that as the weather gets hotter, that's going to kill it as well. So drink those hot liquids. It doesn't have to just be tea and coffee. It can just be plain hot water in and of itself. I do that. It's something I picked up when we were living in Alaska. There's just something very comforting about it, and it still helps me get in my 64 ounces a day. So the first ingredient is obviously eggplant, and you're just going to cook that in the oil until it cooks down a bit. And I'm not going to keep you on here for the whole time that it takes all of this to cook down, but you will cook it down. You'll notice it'll start to get soft. In addition to the eggplant, we are going to add one sweet red pepper. So we're going to throw that in. We're going to have that cooked down also. The recipe calls for 1 pound of tomatoes. So what I do is I just buy like one of these little containers and I just dump them in. And then as they are getting hot, they'll kind of burst, and it's all kinds of yummy. And then that juice will add to the flavor, and it's another reason why you don't need all that oil when you're cooking the eggplant, because as the tomatoes burst, they're going to add some liquid. And I don't know about you, but I don't like my vegetables being all runny. I would love it if, as we're talking, let's see, I see a whole bunch of people watching. Hey everybody, hey Bruce, hey Pat, hey Vicky, hey Lisa. So glad to see you guys with me tonight. I would love for you guys to drop in the chat here in the comments section maybe what some of your favorite side dishes are when you're cooking, or maybe some of your go-tos. So in the pot, just to reiterate for those that are just hopping on here, it's eggplant and red bell pepper and some, I put in whole tomatoes, and then like I said, as everything cooks down, the tomatoes just sort of burst. Now to add the extra flavors, we are going to add some cumin, paprika, a little cayenne pepper, and a little salt and pepper just in, and that brings out all of the flavors, and that gives it that Mediterranean flavor. Cumin is a great spice. for everything. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't necessarily, I mean, it's in a lot of Mexican food, but it's one of those spices that in and of itself really gives it a warm palate. So if you want to warm up something, just like nutmeg, you add a little nutmeg to something, there's just something underneath that people don't expect, and they can't always figure out what it is. Cumin is a little more obvious than nutmeg, but it really adds a depth of flavor. So in addition to those, we are going to add some minced garlic, a couple of tablespoons, or 1 tablespoon maybe. No, I think it was 2. 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. I will be more than happy to provide you guys with the recipe if you'd like it afterwards, and just sort of cook it down. Everything, the eggplant's really starting to cook down, so that's a beautiful thing. Then we're going to add in, this is sort of like a secret ingredient, we're going to add in some capers, and that adds just like a beautiful saltiness to the dish. Just kind of gives it like another layer of flavor, because that's what you're trying to do when you cook. You want to add layers of flavor. So there's something that you'll taste immediately, and then as you're chewing, other flavors come up, and then it's just sort of, it's what makes a dish, takes a dish from being just something that you're eating to something that is like really worth eating. It's just the different layers of flavor. So again, we have eggplant, we have red bell pepper, we have some tomatoes, we have garlic, minced garlic, we have the capers, and we have cumin and paprika and some cayenne pepper and some salt and pepper, okay? And then basically you just sit and you just cook it down. It's really easy. Next ingredient, let me just reach over here, is a little bit of lemon juice, because we want to brighten it up. Those other flavors are a little heavy, so the lemon juice just brightens it up. And then last but not least, we're going to add, now the original recipe called for either cilantro or parsley, or actually a combination of cilantro and parsley, 2 tablespoons each. So I made it that way the first time, and I'm not a huge cilantro lover. I know, crazy, right? Most people absolutely adore cilantro. It's not my job. It's not my jam. I just don't like it. It tastes like turpentine to me. I don't like it. And I've heard you either love it or you don't. It's not my thing. So I was like, well, I could just do parsley. So I did parsley, and then the more I ate it, the more I realized it needed something else. And with that something else, I decided was mint. So I have fresh mint leaves that I'm using instead of the parsley or the cilantro. So I'm just going to throw those in. So that's 4 tablespoons of mint leaves. Again, just another flavor to add to this mixture. And that's really it. All you got to do is just wait till it cooks down, and it all melds together, and it's just absolutely delicious. And this is enough for like 8 servings, okay? Because as the vegetables cook down, they get kind of heavy and condensed, so it's not light like, you know, like a full half cup. A half a cup of these vegetables is going to be more condensed. So this is 8 servings, and again, I'm going to be cooking on the side just some lean ground turkey meat. Using a little oil and some spices just to make this have a little bit of flavor, but because I'm going to be mixing it in with what my portion of the Mediterranean eggplant, I don't need to do a ton to this. I just wanted to make sure I had some fat reserved from this to this, so that this wouldn't stick to the pan and it would be easier to cook. So that's it. That is the side dish today. Mediterranean eggplant. Could not be more delicious. Could not be easier. It's going to take a little bit longer. My tomatoes aren't exploding quite yet. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to cook. Would love to hear, again, just feel free to write in the comments recipes that you love. Let's share and let's all be healthy. This is a healthy part of a lean and green meal. This is considered, the portion for this would be considered 3 greens and 2 fats, except that I did not use the entire fat content. So it's really 3 greens and a part of 1 fat. And yeah, it's really, really yummy. So I hope you enjoyed this. And I will type up the recipe a little later and put it in the comments as well. All right? Hope you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care from my kitchen. Bye.